Alright, so the Ace of Hearts is winning, and now it's for East to decide what heart to play. It depends what their signalling method here is, whether they play low to encourage or high to encourage, or whether they change their signalling method on a singleton. Some players play suit preference on a singleton. In any case, East doesn't really want much of anything. They don't really want a club or a diamond. They don't really want a heart again because they're going to get trumped, but there's nothing really that East wants. The best thing East wants is probably a trump in order for a trump to go to the queen and so on. So I'm going to suggest they play the 2, which we'll say is low encouraging, but could easily be some other signal depending on what you're playing. So we lose the first heart trick, which we're always going to do. And now it's what West does next as to how the defence is going to go. The best defence for West is to not break a new suit. And by break a new suit, I mean play clubs or diamonds for the first time, which enables Declarer to make extra tricks there. We can see that if they play a club or a diamond, that is exactly what South wants, because it takes the finesses for them. It means South doesn't have to get the lead to their hand. So the best bet for West is to play a trump. You don't really want to play a heart, because a heart could get roughed and then you might be setting the queen up, depending on what your signalling methods were. We might not know where the queen of hearts is. And we don't want to play a diamond or a club, because that could be finessing for the declarer. So my best bet here would be to play a trump as the defender and see how it goes. If the declarer wins the trump in hand and takes the finesse anyway, well, they always have an entry. But at least it's passive. It gets rid of the lead. Something that often best in defence is to be passive, especially when the contract is touch and go. So I would switch to a trump. Doesn't matter which one. The 4 is technically the right card, but it doesn't matter which one. And now, as South, we've got to decide how likely is it that West has just underled their queen of spades. We can see that they had a difficult job as to what to lead. They don't want to lead a club or a diamond, presumably because they have the kings there, and they don't want to break a new suit. They don't want to lead a heart, because the heart would get roughed. Would they lead a spade away from the queen? Maybe. Maybe not. It's a bit of a psychological edge to this. I think we should stick to our original plan, which was cash the ace-king and let them win the queen, if they're going to, the queen of trumps, that is. So I'm going to stick to the original plan. You could duck to try and win your jack in hand, depending on who's got the queen. I'm going to play the ace-king like I originally planned, not being put off by them playing spades. So we win the ace of spades. West achieves their goal of giving the lead away cost-free. Good defence from West, not switching to clubs or diamonds, helping us take the finesse. Cash the king of spades to see if we see the queen drop, which we do not. We see a 3-2 break, so we now know someone's got the queen, but only the queen. And the rule of 1 states if you are missing 1 trump exactly, hence the number, and it is bigger than all of your trumps, you should leave it. So now we're going to do something else. Now there's 2 options. We could play a club to the jack or 10, setting up all of the clubs, but giving the opponents the king of clubs. Or we could try to force our way to hand by playing ace of diamonds, jack of diamonds, trying to get rid of the king in order to win the queen here to then be able to take the club finesse. The problem is the defence can counteract our play of trying to get to hand by just not doing what we want. They play ace of diamonds, jack of diamonds, they could not play their king and wait to put their king on our queen. So there's no guarantee we can get the lead to our hand in any case. So I want to lead clubs from my hand to take the club finesse, but I've had to accept that I cannot get the lead here. I need the king of diamonds, not the queen. Then I could come over with a diamond and do the club finesse like normal. But we just can't get the lead here. It's an entry problem. So I think what we've got to do, shrug our shoulders, give the opponents their king of clubs. In doing so, sets up all of our club winners. I'm not thrilled about the fact I'm letting the opponents win a king when I suspect the finesse would have worked, but I cannot get the lead in the right place in order to perform the finesse. Part and parcel of the way the cards have been dealt. So we play a club to the 10 or the jack, either is equivalent. And West, this opponent, takes the king of clubs very gleefully, thinking they would never have made that. Now West has the same problem they had at trick 2. They don't want to lead anything. If they lead a diamond, that does the finesse for us. If they lead a club, that leads into our strength. If they lead a heart, we're going to rough it on the table, so they can't win. The best bet is probably now try a diamond and hope their partner has the queen. They've got to take that risk because they can see a diamond tricks are vanishing now. If our partner has the queen of diamonds, we may well lose our diamond trick by the opponents playing all of the clubs and throwing the diamonds away. So the best bet now is to be active, not passive, because of the established threat of the clubs. But it's not going to work. We can see it's not going to work. So a low diamond, we should duck as declarer, taking the finesse. We're not falling for that. He goes diamond to the 9 and queen. Annoying that West didn't do that a minute ago, enabling us to take the finesse, but hey ho. And now, because we've established those clubs, we can simply play the jack of clubs, like so. We can overtake it with the ace or the queen because the 10 has gone and the jack is good. So we play the ace like so. That follows with the club. And now we're going to run the clubs. So we're going to go queen of clubs, 9 of clubs, 8 of clubs, throwing away losers from this hand. We could have retaken the diamond finesse, I suppose, whilst we were here, but it's not going to be that relevant now we've got the clubs going. So queen of clubs, we can throw a diamond away. 9 of clubs, also a winner, doesn't matter how they break really. And someone's going to rough in eventually, but once they rough in, they've got a problem because then we can cross ruff. If they rough with the queen of spades, because of the rule of 1 we performed, they're roughing with a boss trump, it leaves us with 2 spades for our 2 hearts. It doesn't matter when they rough in. If they rough in now, we throw a diamond, we can cross ruff the rest. If they rough in a minute, we just get to keep playing clubs. It's as broad as it is long. They're only going to win one more trick. They're going to win the queen of trumps. So let's say they rough in now, which is their best chance. Doesn't matter what this hand does. Discard a heart, I guess. So we lose that trick, but in doing so get rid of the boss trump. We now have the remainder of the tricks. We can play the ace of diamonds and trump this diamond. We can trump these 2 hearts on the table, and this club is a winner as well, so we actually have too many tricks. Doesn't matter what the defense do, we can win it. Like so, we can ruff. And then we can play the ace of diamonds. Like so, getting rid of the diamond. And then trump the diamond in our hand. Like that. And then we've got a cross ruff. As it happens, the club on dummy is also a winner, but we can ruff this and ruff that, so all good. We actually end up making 10 tricks. Now there's a couple of reasons why we made 10 tricks. Very difficult to defend because all of the points were in the wrong hand for the defenders. They were in the hand on lead, so they had to lead into us. They tried their best to be passive, but we managed to get rid of their king of clubs and they had to take some risk in some way, shape or form. And the singleton heart on the dummy was huge. It stopped the opponents from being able to cash heart tricks, which meant, even though we only had 22 points between the 2 hands, we had the right 22 because we had fitting cards for clubs and a singleton in the suit that we were very weak in. So we can make game in spades, and I know in the bidding I said we might not make 3, never mind 4, and I know we did make 4, but it's a very fortuitous thing. The spades broke lovely, the heart, everything was in the right place. The heart singleton, the king of clubs, the king of diamonds, everything was in the right place. So it's not a game you would want to be in, albeit one we managed to make. So we made 3 spades plus 1.